Hey guys, Tomboy61, and today let's go ahead and talk about this recent aircraft carrier nerf. Um, I'm someone who doesn't really play the aircraft carriers a ton, but I do dabble in them from time to time. I'm still grinding my way through some of the aircraft carriers because, well, they take a lot of time and they're not exactly the most fun ship to play, even though, when played well, they can be quite influential. That is assuming your team wants to be influenced and such, but that's a topic for a different time. I want to talk about the nerf we've seen and just kind of go through it and say my piece and say some alternate things. So, first off, if you didn't know, all of the aircraft carriers received a pretty substantial nerf this pass, basically raising their concealment to that of a cruiser, which overall doesn't seem too bad. Previously, they could definitely outspot a cruiser, which was kind of unfortunate because there's times where they probably shouldn't be. But now we can see just how large the aircraft carrier spotting circle is if we want to play somewhat close to our teammates, right? I think there's two kinds of aircraft carrier players, right? There's the one who hits reverse and is in one of the four corners, or I guess three corners on this map because one of the corners is land and they can't get into it on this one. But the other kind of aircraft player does like to kind of play and push up with their team, and I think this most recent change definitely hampers that kind of player. And it was a change that it was designed and I think specifically made to hamper the other style of aircraft carrier player. Right? It was definitely annoying and unnecessary for when your team kind of broke through to have to try to hunt down that last aircraft carrier, and the spotting range being so ridiculous, and it would take you so far out of the map. But in the new world order of aircraft carriers, this large bubble does make playing the aircraft carrier a lot more trouble, right? You do really need to play in with the positioning, and it's something that is really difficult. One of the things that makes it extremely difficult is the fact that we have autopilot, but we don't have like a precise autopilot. We'll see it later in this match, but I want to be at a very specific point in B because I've decided to push up and I am capturing B, and I want to position myself between those two islands. Uh, Good luck trying to tell the autopilot you want to do that. I do give Wargaming credit because a lot of time the autopilot is fantastic. It does really well, especially for one that has such in. It's not very precise because you have such large like grid selector squares. It's just at this moment it isn't precise enough to get you into the nooks and crannies you want to be concealed, especially if you are playing as an aggressive aircraft carrier, which is the style of aircraft carrier I like to play, right? I enjoy to be able to be closer to the combat. And that's where I kind of want to pitch a remedy to this. Right now, a lot of the people who play aircraft carriers religiously will say that the aircraft carrier specific commanders are not worth it. That the generalist commanders, the Deweys of the world, are in fact the better aircraft carrier commander, and I'm one to agree with them. So I think there could be a very nice buff that could occur to the aircraft carriers that could be a legendary skill. Now, if you're not aware, the legendary skills are that set of skills down at the very bottom of the commander that are usually in yellow. And something that's special about those legendary skills is usually you have to be a certain distance away from either an enemy or a teammate in order for it to proc, in order for it to go. And I think it would be a really cool kind of legendary skill for the dedicated aircraft commanders to have a skill that increases concealment by a significant margin when they are playing close enough to their teammates, right? If you're within three, like, you could have it as far as legendary 1, 2, 3, 4, as far as 3, 4, and 5 kilometers away from your teammates, and you reduce your spotting by 20 or 30%. I think that would, one, reduce the concealment nerf to the pre-nerf levels, or kind of buff it a little, but it would incentivize the aircraft carriers to play close to their teammates, to provide that air support, provide the risk and reward. Because, of course, the second you become spotted with an aircraft carrier, you're done. You toast. The enemy team is absolutely going to be gunning for you, and you do end up kind of in the middle between a rock and a hard place. And it doesn't, like, I know there's the whole, like, interacting, like, game design wise, there's the whole, what feels good about a game is when you're interacting with other players, and aircraft carriers are a very, what feels, one-sided interaction on both ends, right? When I'm attacking someone with the planes, they can't really do much about it, right? They can try to dodge, but it doesn't feel as interactive as a surface ship engagement, and vice versa when I'm taking fire from other surface ships. Aircraft carriers are so huge, and they have such thin armor that, yeah, you can attempt to angle, but a lot of shells are going to go right into that citadel. You're not going to last very long. So for you to risk the carriers by playing, somewhat up close is very dangerous for you. And, it's a strategy that oftentimes does not pay off, and it does not feel good when it does not pay off. Because, of course, you end up getting sunk. But that's just, my little opinion. I do think that it would be a nice way to kind of encourage aircraft carrier play that is closer, that is more dynamic, by encouraging them to get closer, by tying concealment through a legendary perk with the ships around them. I think, it gets the best of both worlds. That way, the players that want to play on the moon, they have the large concealment, and for the players that want to play up close, that want to have that little bit more fun of an engagement, and want to support their team and be up in the action, have the ability to do it, but they're not at such a huge disadvantage where I think this current nerf absolutely kind of puts them. But yeah, guys, what do you think? That's my aircraft carrier rant, I guess, for the update. Let me know down in the comments below. Would you be interested in a aircraft carrier commander only legendary perk that buffed concealment, that as long as you were close enough to teammates? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.